Shalom. We're on day 5 of counting down to Passover, and we are dealing with the 5th plague, which is dead livestock or death of the cattle. Now, when I was looking into the names of the gods and goddesses which were involved in this, I will try to pronounce them for you. Ptah, Hathor, Menivis, and Amnon. These were the Egyptian gods that were deeply connected with cattle, and they were the highest in the pantheon of gods when it comes to things. Hathor was the mother of like Osiris, and Ra she's connected with, and Ptah was supposed to be the creator. And so it's just very interesting because when I looked at this, I began to realize that this plague was far more than just losing a good meal. It had to do with showing that the strength of Egypt had been completely diminished, that their gods could not protect the cattle, which was a source of food, but it also was a strong representation that the Egyptians had used to represent their false gods and their belief of the prosperity that those gods brought them. And so when I was thinking about it, it made sense that these children of Israel, these Hebrews leaving such a land, when they were looking for an image to give to their new Elohim, their Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, because that's what the scripture says. Then it says that they said, these are your gods. The Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh is involved in that. That they would choose a golden calf or a bull, right? And many of us that have studied the language of the Hebrews know that the very first letter of the alphabet, the Aleph, is a bullhead. It's a representation of strength and the first, right? So when I think of Messiah's life, I can't really think of a time when he interacted with an ox. He talked about them in different parables. They're there. But one thing that we are told about Messiah is that he is the Alpha and Omega, or the Aleph and the Tav, the beginning and the end. And when I think about Messiah, he was so meek, and he was really like a lamb when he first came to earth. But as we are celebrating the Passover, and as we are looking forward to his greatest act of strength, it is that death on the cross. I think about how the night before he sweat blood, something that only happens when you're in so much pressure. And he did that because he didn't want to have to die. He wanted the cup to pass from him if it was possible. And yet he was so strong that he didn't call legions of angels to come and get him. He didn't take himself on that cross. He submitted himself and was obedient to the Father because of his love for the Father and his love for us. And he showed us what true strength looks like. And we are so blessed because of his great strength. So when I consider also the death of cattle in coming events, certainly we know that famine is a rider on a horse of the apocalypse, and it is coming, and that will cause the harvest to fail, just like the ox, the apex ox, or apis ox, that was so well thought of, bull in Egypt. He was a representation of plentiful harvests, probably because if you had a plentiful harvest, your bulls would be large. But with a famine, certainly that means that there's not going to be a good harvest, and many will die, both of humans and of cattle. So I pray as you consider this 5th plague with me, that you see how great Abba is, how he is stronger than all of the gods of Egypt, even their most esteemed. And he has shown himself Mighty indeed. Shalom.